What's up everyone? So we're working with a pretty epic and vibrant orange and teal look this time. I think we've done a tutorial on them before, but for this one we're going to be working with this image here, trying to recreate those really awesome orange and teal tones that are very vibrant, very creamy. It's got a real dreamy feel to the image, and this image is just awesome. It's got tons of layers to it. So we're going to be trying to do that, and as you guys know, all of his details will be down in the description, links to his Instagram, and if you guys really like his style, you can check out his presets here. Go give him a follow as well, but you can come check out his presets. You can click here, and you can come look and see if you like his presets. At the moment, I think they're 50% off, so if you want to, come have a look over at these. But let's get into Lightroom. We'll start with bringing up the exposure. We'll bring down a bit of contrast. Highlights down so we get way more detail up in the sky there. Shadows can come up because we want quite a bright, vibrant looking image. So shadows can really help with that. Then whites for a bit of a pop, especially in those really bright areas. And then blacks because we want to keep a bit of contrast. It's a good idea to keep those dark areas a wee bit darker. And now clarity, so we want a bit of a dreamy look, a real nice creamy, soft, dreamy look. So clarity is a good one to bring down. Everything goes a bit softer and yeah, dreamier. So we want a really vibrant looking image. Obviously those colors are really popping, so let's bring up vibrance. Maybe a touch of saturation. Now we're gonna have to come in with a lot of brushes and filters later, so we won't get it exact, but we'll get pretty close and then we'll come in with those brushes and that. But before that, we'll do the tone curves because that's going to really help us get our colors. And we'll actually do the tone curves before we do calibrations. So we'll come down and do calibrations after we do our tone curves. So we'll do that now. Okay, so that's the curves done. So a decent S curve in each of the channels, and as you can see there's extra in the highlights, so there's a lot of colors coming into those highlights. So the S curves are very good for controlling where you want the color, where you want the contrast. And then in this one we added a real nice fade to those blacks because it was looking quite harsh, and then just a bit more to the highlights, and then a bit extra to those whites to get that real dreamy look where you get those whites kind of overexposing and blooming. And back to the S curves, we wanted a really vibrant, dreamy looking image, so more colors in the highlights sort of and midtones helps that vibrant look. So now we'll try to get the right colors, and we're going to come in with filters soon to try to bring out the sky, and we might just chuck we'll do that after. We'll do some colors and then we'll come in with the filters later. So let's work with the calibration now. It's pretty hard to describe what's going on with these, but they're just quite useful because you sometimes can't quite get enough of a change with the HSL sliders. So I'll just do some, I'll try to explain it. So for example, the blue slider here really controls the orange and teal colors. And so we're going to really bring out those colors, but we haven't done the HSL yet. And that's when we're really going to get these colors over here, but we've got to do these first. You don't have to do them first, but that's what I'm doing. And then we obviously wanted those orange and red tones to pop a lot, so that's why we worked with this one here. But let's go to HSL and we will be able to fine tune the rest of the colors. So let's start with some obvious ones. Let's go for the yellows, making them more orange. The greens need to be way warmer, so let's shift them right across. Got nice orange reds even. We definitely need our blues to be way more of a teal. We'll hit up luminance next because that can have a big impact on your saturation as well. We want nice bright yellows. We need our oranges to stand out. As you can see, I'm going to have to come in with a filter or a brush to bring out those trees back there. Same with a few of these other things. Let's jump to saturation. Take down the blues definitely. Okay, I think we're looking good. So this image has a lot of editing to it, so you're gonna have to come in with brushes and filters to do stuff individually, because if I wanted to bump up the blues, say in the sky there, then it's gonna make the blues in the water way too saturated. So I'll just do this sharpening. So we want to keep our nice dreamy look, so not too much sharpening. and then by moving up the slider, the masking slider, be able to only sharpen the large lines. So by doing that, the further you move it up, it's only going to sharpen those big edges and leave all the little edges, say in the trees, alone. Okay, so let's get over to some filters now. So I want to make a filter just covering the sky. Okay, so I just want to bring down exposure, obviously, get all that detail back. Contrast, make stuff pop. Highlights, bring out even more of that detail. And then let's bump up the saturation. And warmth. So we want to really bring out those gold tones. And that looks good. We'll do, I just want to make another filter down the bottom here. Okay, so I just want to darken this corner here. And the reason I'm doing that is just to direct your eye in the right direction. So we're looking out in this direction. So it just helps frame where we want to look. That's all I'll do for that one. And now I just want to bring out these trees we have here. So as you can see, they're way too dark. We need to individually bring them out with a filter. So I'm just going to grab a radial filter, put it over them. Okay, so I'm going to add in a lot of warmth to really bring out those gold tones. Bit of exposure. Highlights, come down. Definitely need to bring up the shadows a lot. We'll try a bit of saturation. Okay, roll with that. We will do another filter to add in this haze effect. There's a nice sun rays that sort of gives a real nice softness to a lot of this image coming through here. So we'll do that. Now I'll just draw a big filter like a sun rays coming through around here. And what I want to do with this one is especially add in that little bit of softness you see coming through. So dehaze is definitely a good one for that. As you can see, it just real softens that area. Do some saturation. A bit of exposure. And we'll just add in more of those gold tones. As you can see, we'll put a bit more on those mountains and that as well. Just want a filter going over top of our subject here. As you can see, there's a lot of warmth around her. We want to make her stand out a bit more. Okay, so for this one, we'll do a bit of exposure and shadows. So then you're sort of creating a natural vignette around our subject. Just drawing your eye in there. And I think that's good. And for our subject, I just want her to stand out a bit more, so I'm going to grab a brush and just brush over our subject. And then you might want to zoom in and use the erase. So if you just turn this little box on down here, zoom in, use the erase tool and just get it perfect. Okay, so after making it very fine and detailed, we will bring up some shadows to make it pop a bit more. And then some saturation to bring out the colors. And that should do. And now we are brushing the water to get the colors to stand out. We want to bring out these real gold tones there in the reflection, and a bit of the blues and those gold tones in the clouds and the reflection. So I have already gone and brushed. So if we just focus on the entirety of the water now, so we've got it all brushed, and we want to add a bit of coolness to the image. So let's turn that off and add a bit of saturation. Bit of exposure, so we'll bring out the brightness of the water. And then adding some coolness to really add to the blues. So we're just worrying about the blues at the moment. We're not worrying about making these warm tones too cool, because we're going to come in and brush on those again. So, and I also just fine tweaked the color blue we wanted. So I went hue 171, saturation 32, and that's just going to add in that exact color we want. We want that really nice teal blue there. So if you want to see what that with and without it, that's with it. Okay, so we're on to the next brush. We've also already got that one selected. So for this one, we want some really nice golden tones. I'll just show you what is selected. So this is all the selected area, and we're focusing on the warmer tones. So we want warmth in there. We've already got the little bit of purple put in there. We will make it a little darker, because that way you'll just be able to see the detail in those clouds and those cliffs in the water. And some contrast to make it pop. Then just a bit of saturation. And that looks pretty good. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. This is a bloody sick image. It's got so many layers to it. It's got the foreground, the midground, and then it's just got the trees, the mountains, the clouds, and then it's got the reflection as well. So just an awesome image. And that's about it. I can't see too much of a difference going on now. And yeah, I think I'll just leave it there today, guys. If you guys want, you can check out his presets as I showed you at the start of the video. And yeah, if you like these tutorials, check mine out as well. Give him a follow down in the description. All of his links will be down there, guys. Make sure you go down there and check him out. And comment who you guys want to see. So comment people that don't have many followers but have great images. That way they can send in an image and I can do a tutorial on them. So comment them down in the description. and I'll get round to reaching out to them if I think they've got good images. And yeah, leave some feedback down in the comments. Love to hear what you guys have to say. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one. Cheers.